Greetings, patriots, Starseeds Lightworkers, and of course our very brave military and galactic warriors out there. And of course our digital soldiers that I have to say, this could not have been completed without you as well. We are the tip of the sword, and the power that we hold in the frequency of this whole ecosystem we live in is ours for control. We're going to take control back because of the powers we have. But for many months now, we have been in a crossroads scenario between light and dark, good and evil, bad and good, truth and denial, or truth or lies, acceptance or denial. All of this is at the crossroads right now. And I just want to verify, or I want to clarify something that I have known for years and years and years, because, and because I've seen it, based on me being a introvert and a real independent. I just could not go with the system. I felt all this heavy pushback from the system right to this day. And I, want to let all my, warriors out there know, and you are warriors, but you have to know that they cannot stand not having control of you. This is why I'm talking about or bringing to attention to everybody about the straw man, sovereign, two identities, or, not complying to what they want you to do. Like, why do you pay taxes? Like, why do we pay taxes on something that we already own? If you own a house, why do you need to pay a tax on it? They're telling you they still have control in you because you own that property that you've probably paid for on that property. It doesn't even make sense. There's no such thing as a tax. I mean, we were, born and raised here on this, on this planet we live on. I mean, who do we pay the tax to? For what? And this is where it goes back to, they want to tax us for them to exist. I mean, how crazy does this sound? And this is why I constantly get attacked, or you're getting attacked, or, if you're not going with the narrative of their system, and, family included, or friends, and, or cousins, or, whatever walk of life, or whoever think that you're a little bit off because you do not want to follow the system. They have to have control of your life, of everybody's life. And if they can't have it, they're going to burn it all down. I mean, this is the mindset that control us. If they can't have their candy, they're going to bust up the candy shop. This is the childish mentality of these ghouls that run the planet, or used to. They don't have control of us anymore. They don't. They don't even have control of themselves anymore. The stupid things that they're doing and coming up with, with having something painted on the side of your vehicle, like say Britain First, they're going to get stopped and stripped down, and like they will be demonized by their system. They do not want a common sense type environment. They want to live in this inverted reality. And this is why I'm attacking them directly by saying we have a straw man and we have a sovereign man or woman, right? We have two identities that need to be identified by us individuals, each an individual. Can you imagine if everybody cut their old ID? I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying, just imagine. You got your old strawman ID and you have your new ID. And all of a sudden, because you have all these, say 1,000 cards made up because you want to, or say even 250 cards made up with your picture, your whatever name you desire to have in this world. You had somebody, as much as you love mom and dad, but they named you. Why can't you name yourself? We have to take control of our own soul and being. See, this is what goes down. We live with this. Oh, well, Mom called me, the old song with Johnny Cash, right? And, a boy named Sue, right? Remember that? He had to go through life calling himself Sue because his parents called him Sue. Now, he had many, many fights and gunfights throughout that story, what Johnny Cash had sung through that song, just because his name was Sue. Now, if he would have just been a sovereign and said, hey, hold it, my name's not Sue, right? I am called whatever you want. I'm called Johnny, right? This is the whole ironic thing of everything that's happening around us. Everything has been put into our lap and we're expected, in front of us, and we're expected to eat it and swallow it down. And we don't have to. But what I want to say again, can you imagine everybody keeping their face, everything's beautiful, but changing all your identification to what you want it to be. Email, okay, which was designed and created by a patriot, the creation of email. And I can't remember his name. He's a East Indian guy, really, Sirva, I forget his name anyways. Very good guy, and I love listening to him because he's right on point. But he created that email, and that's an identification. That's where you can reach us, and that is our ID. That's our numbers, right? Whatever you want to call it, numbers, letters, whatever you want. However, galactic looking or whatever you want to put in there. But it's there for you people to get a hold of you. You don't even have to put a phone number in there. Like, why even have a phone? Like, why do you have to pay for a phone number? Now, if it comes with your cell phone and what you have to pay, but what I'm saying is that to have that phone number in there, that was given to you by them, right? I don't have a phone number. I'm in Canada. I have a phone number in the Philippines, right? Because it's so cheap. But here you got to pay what, $50, $60, $70 a month. Why is that, for what? You want to contact somebody, just contact them through, all these different apps that you can do. Why should you pay that extra $60? And it's the same thing with the insurance. Anyways, I keep throwing myself off this subject, but can you imagine if everybody had their own ID that they created for themselves with their own name that they created for themselves, and only use the straw man that they have given you for whatever purpose that you want to play in their matrix? But otherwise, you can throw this ID around that because it's you are identifying yourself, you're naming yourself the name that you want to name, right? To give to anybody you want out there. And if everybody did it on the planet, these ghouls that want so dearly to have control on you would lose control. and they would probably, I don't know what they would do, but they wouldn't have power. They don't have power now, but we're still playing in their game, in their sandbox. And this is what I'm having a very, very hard time with. Why are we doing that? Why are we paying credit cards? You apply or you get a credit card because you want to have something, but you don't have the money, or you just want to throw it on the credit card. And then, of course, you miss the payment, and all of a sudden you get a 23 or 24% tax. You have signed up for for slavery. And you need to cut it up. You need to stop paying it, stop acknowledging them. If they're saying, you owe us money, you owe us this, that, and why do you even have to contact them? It was there. They had you sign that through false pretense, because anything on that literature that you had signed at the bank or whatever to get that credit card is illegal. So walk away from it. It's the same with the mortgages. It's the same with the taxes. Why do we pay on a property a tax on a property that we own? Doesn't make sense. If everybody stopped paying their property tax, I guess there'd be no property tax. If everybody refused and cut up all their credit cards, there'd be no more credit card business. It'd be gone. But we somehow have failed ourselves by allowing these ghouls into our life to manipulate and bring on stress and problems in your life that they have designed. They put it into your life. All you have to do is just say, I don't do it no more. I don't accept it no more. And people should not, it's like tobacco. Okay. If you're a smoker, you started as a kid, but you're saying, I'm getting sick because of this, but theoretically tobacco, this is going to go way out there, but tobacco, the real pure tobacco, heals cancer. Go figure. I'm going to get blown up on this one. But tobacco, pure tobacco with no chemical in it, heals cancer. But what they do is they put a whole bunch of poison into the tobacco. You inhale it and you collect you possibly get cancer or emphysema or all this stuff based on the poisons that they put in that tobacco. I know. And then they demonize tobacco, saying you can't smoke. But yes, if you do smoke, there's many, many properties in that tobacco, not necessarily by inhaling it, but if you had it in a patch and it gets into your bloodstream, it kills all kinds of parasites and cancers and all kinds of different things. Yeah. If it's pure, right? This is what I'm saying, is that you could take a tobacco leaf and boil it in water to it's a little bit brown, put some brown sugar in and drink it. You could take cloves, they give you all these different medicines, and a clove, or like you put a 20 cloves into a pot of water, small pot of water, and boil it up, and put it in a jar with honey, mix it up while it's still hot, and take a couple of swallows of that before bedtime. It will get rid of gut inflammation, gut parasites. It'll help heal your joints. I mean, there is just so many things. It will kill all the. It'll open up your arteries. It will give you all kinds of nutrient that you need. That's just from one little clove. And yet they get you to go into all these different things. This is why I'm saying, I have been saying this for years. We need to re-educate ourselves. And if we don't, we're going to be illiterate to the deprogramming that we so dearly need. We have to start retraining ourselves about self-healing and about self-independence, and know the power that we have in this beautiful avatar we live in. Right? God has done all this. And why should we fear anything when we walk with God? Why? These little demons that are out there fear God. They should. Right? Because we have the strength. He's given us the power. We just need to wake up a little bit. Right? Have a nice black coffee. Let's wake up and let's address these problems. Let's start understanding what's out there, or start understanding about how they've been attacking us. Very, very good plan. They had a really good system going. But their only fear was for us to wake up. And this is why I'm been on this podcast for 11, 12 years now, saying that we need to wake everybody up to what, is going on and what has been going on in this world. Anyways, God bless everybody. I only got time for one today, maybe two. You see, depends how this thing flies here today. I'm a little bit busy. But I want to say God bless everybody, and we will talk to you tomorrow live. All right. Bye for now.